So I've got a love-hate relationship with Olight, right? And I'm going to tell you the hate part first. Their baton series, S2R baton, and it doesn't, it doesn't have the momentary on-off. But I do like it because of this clip. This clip makes it very easy to clip it to the front of an e-bike. So I really, really like that, right? And in terms of build quality and in terms of like durability and all that, waterproofness and all that, yeah, I've never had an issue with the Olight. But it doesn't have that momentary on-off feature that I want. And so that makes it not really ideal in a true tactical situation. So somebody brought something to my attention, and they said that I absolutely need to check it out. All right, what was brought to my attention was this Olight Javelot Mini. Right, a couple things jump out immediately at me. One, it's got the certified autistic olive drab green finish. Absolutely love it. It's not very likely that a real world situation would need for a light to be olive drab green, but it's cool. It's a cool aesthetic touch, and it does kind of like, I guess it could actually make it a little easier to find, believe it or not, because it does kind of stand out like inside in here. So it looks kind of cool, it looks kind of tactical, and I can see it, I can identify it kind of fast. But aesthetically, the olive drab green on this thing is awesome. The fact that it comes in that color. What I was most impressed by was the tail cap switch. And so it's a brilliantly designed light. It's got two different momentary on-offs. Hard for bright light, soft for soft light. I mean, it's just very intuitive. If I want to hold it down for a hard light momentary on-off, boom. If I want to lightly hold it down for a softer momentary on-off, I lightly press it. It's just very intuitive. This is an actual tactical flashlight by Olight, and I absolutely love it. Now, it came with a holster. I tried putting the holster through mollywebbing, and what do you know? It doesn't really fit through the mollywebbing properly. Right? Unless I mean, for the most part, you can't get it to fit inside mollyweb. That seems like why do you have this holster thing for a light this big that can fit in my pocket, but it doesn't fit through mollywebbing? That doesn't make any sense. I'd rather just carry this thing in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? I would rather just carry this in the big tall pocket in my 511 pants than I would have this in a holster on my belt loop. However, the holster on my belt loop, funny story, I ended up hooking it up to my e-bike, and it fits perfectly. So it's like a stand. If I want to have this mounted to my e-bike, it fits perfectly. So that's a little bonus you can look into when you get this thing. That holster thing, you could mount it to your e-bike. I was thinking about simply putting it on the side of my charging station. You don't have to put that thing on clothing. There's a million different things you could put that on. There probably are ways you could rig that thing to where it would go on your vest. You could probably put it on like if you got a load bearing set up, you could probably put it on the cross buckle or strap or something. There's probably a way you could put it on a load bearing system or something like that. There's probably a way you could put it on a duty belt. I didn't really explore those options that much. I was a little bit annoyed by the fact that you gave me like a Kydex holster for this thing, basically, and like it doesn't fit mollywebbing. That was a little bit annoying. Olight got that wrong. Very kind of a good holster too. It's like, why didn't you just make this thing so it could fit in mollywebbing? I don't understand why they would do something like that. In terms of the beam, you got a center point where the beam is like a circle dot, and then you got some spill out, so you can identify things that are in the periphery, but you can also focus on things that are far out. It's a brilliant design. Like this is a brilliant display of 21st century technology on a budget. These go for about $100. I mean, like, this is some pretty high-end stuff. This is the stuff that I would pay $200 or $300 for years ago. And as a matter of fact, like, I'm not going to be paying for expensive flashlights anymore, because right now I can get for $100 what years ago would have taken $300 or $400. So I'm pretty much just done buying expensive flashlights, you know. I mean, I got this Emerald DX80 right here, and I might get another Emerald at some point, but I doubt it. I doubt it. It might be 2026 before I get another Emerald. It's in the cards. I do want to get it eventually, but it's not a priority. It's going to be probably 2026 before I get another Emerald. We'll see. We'll see. Especially if I get pressured to review the newer Emeralds, or especially if my current one breaks, which it hasn't broken yet. If I get pressured into reviewing another Emerald and you guys are just screaming about it, then I'll spend $200 for another Emerald. But it's not a priority unless you guys really start screaming about it. The beam distance, being able to illuminate all the threads, I can see everything at the end of my I got a big driveway, and I can see everything further out toward the end of my driveway with this thing. I got a pretty big driveway. So, you know, I didn't show that on camera because, you know, I don't want people seeing every bit of my property. I actually take operational security somewhat seriously. I don't want people seeing every inch of my property on video. But I did go out and test this thing, and I did, you know, kind of go for a ride with it on the e-bike, and man, I was impressed with it. So that's my review on it. I don't like spending too much time on these reviews. I don't get totally autistic about them, but that's my review.